Cal, obviously you've been biding your time a little while the last few years, and now it's come pretty quickly. You've been thrown to the hot seat. How are you finding yourself out there?
Yeah, it's unreal. I'm loving getting an opportunity, playing in the big league. Last week it was a good opportunity against arguably the best in the business, Max Gawn and Luke Jackson. So yeah, good learnings came out of that game, and yeah, I'm enjoying it.
How did you find it actually going head to head with those guys? It was pretty tough, I imagine?
Yeah, it was tough, but I don't know, it's a good experience to learn against the best in the business. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and there's a lot to learn.
Has it been a bit of a whirlwind? Like, probably coming into the season, you were still trying to push to maybe find a spot there, and now all of a sudden you're playing some pretty regular footy?
Yeah. It has been a bit of a whirlwind, but there's been a few injuries, and which sucks, but with injuries come opportunity. So I think a few young boys are getting opportunities with the injuries we've had.
So Cal, can you take us inside that circle, and you're looking across at Maxi, or I don't know, Luke, whoever it is?
Yeah.
What were you thinking at the time? You're going, wow, this has come quick, and I'm now up against the best of the best.
Yeah. I don't know, you always back yourself in, and you're always trying to get the ball to your teammates. So yeah, I backed myself in and got over a couple, and he won his fair share too. But yeah, as I said before, it's a real good learning and experience to come against the best in the business.
Did he say anything to you? Was there any conversation, or was there, is this a new young bloke? Or?
Nah, not much chat at all. It was all game face on and yeah, get to it. But nah, not much.
Did you learn much? What did you pick up from those guys just playing against? Well, the last couple of weeks actually, haven't you?
Yeah, obviously the running patterns of a ruckman and the body work and their contest work. Max is real crafty around below his knees. So yeah, it was good learning to watch him and yeah, see how he does it.
What do you find was the biggest challenge going up against those two on the game day?
Probably Max's height. He's a pretty big fella. Yeah, probably just dealing with bigger bodies than Waffle. Yeah, that'd be the main one.
And that premiership midfield around him as well, Petrarca, Oliver, etc. How'd you find that?
Yeah, they're a very cohesive unit, Melbourne. I feel like the second and third quarter, we definitely matched it with them. First and fourth kind of got away from us, but we thought there was definitely positive signs coming out of the weekend.
So what sense have you got now, with so many of the senior blokes out? Do you sometimes sit in the team meeting before the match or whatever and go, wow, where is everybody? It's kind of, or is it now up to us young blokes to stand up? Or what's the feeling? Because there are so many of the senior blokes not there.
Yeah, as I said before, it sucks having so many injuries to such senior players, but it does give opportunity for young fellas. We saw Westy have a ripper game on the weekend, and young fellas like Bailey and myself coming in. Yeah, we need to take those opportunities and try and lead the group.
And have the senior guys helped you? Obviously, Nick Nat, any words of wisdom from him to go against players like Max Gawn? Yeah,
Nick's been real helpful with all us young rucks. Obviously, he's not on the track at the moment, but yeah, he's in all the meetings. He's one of the best in the business, and yeah, he gives a lot of help to us young boys.
Ryan Turnbull as well, does he? Obviously, Premiership Eagle, yeah.
Yeah, Emu, the ruck coach. He sits down with Nick and works out a plan each week of what we're going to try and do, and yeah, Emu's always helping us.
Is there something that sticks out for you that Nick Nat has offered, sort of technically?
Just his knowledge around the game. He's come up against a lot of these ruckmen, so he knows a lot of the ruckmen inside and out. So yeah, just his knowledge on a range of ruckmen is really helpful.
Do you, I mean, obviously just in sort of the infancy of your career, are there a few sort of ruckmen that you look to in the AFL to model your game off?
Yeah, I'm trying to take bits out of lots of different ruckmen. Obviously we've got Nick here, giving a lot of knowledge to us. So yeah, I try and take as much as I can out of Nick, but yeah, try and take leafs out of multiple different ruckmen's books.
How big is that challenge of you trying to prove yourself as a young player and show the club and everyone what you've got, but the side's really struggling and getting belted every week? How big is that challenge for you?
Yeah, it's tough, but we go out each week trying to win. And I think if that's your focus each week, your performance kind of takes care of itself. This week against the Giants, we're going over to win again. And yeah, each individual performance will come with that.
And growing up, who did you look up to when you were coming through your juniors and that? Was there anyone you sort of looked at? Were you going to always be a ruckman, or were you smaller and then you shot up, or how did it work?
Oh, I played a range of different positions, but later on in my coach year, I started playing a bit of ruck, and Brodie Grundy and Nick and even Big Max Gawn, they're the best ruckmen in the comp. So, yeah, I think you always try and look at what they're doing and see what you can do to match it with them.
How would you like to be regarded as a ruckman? Where do you see sort of a modern day ruckman heading?
Oh, I think the modern day ruckman's pretty agile. Yeah, a fourth midfielder almost, who can jump and tap the ball, but also once the ball hits the deck, it's following up, it's getting forward. Yeah, it's an agile ruckman these days.
Did you learn anything from Luke Jackson? He kind of fits that mould.
Yeah, Luke's doing really well at the moment. I've played with Luke in under 18s, and yeah, to see him do what he's doing, it's pretty unreal. Yeah, he's very crafty around the ground, and he's got a big tank, so watching him run around, yeah, it's good.
Is there someone you're looking forward to? I mean, you might think, yeah, Max Gawn, Luke Jackson, awesome to go up against. There's a few games coming up, I think it's Bulldogs in 2 weeks' time. Are you kind of looking forward maybe to that match up against English perhaps, or is there someone you're kind of really keen to go head to head with?
Haven't really thought about it too much. I'm just focusing week by week. Big proofs this week, and yeah, we'll see how we go. We're going over to try and get a win, and hopefully we can come back with the 4 points.
Looking at next week, as a team, is it hard to plan for the game with a coach who hasn't had a coach at senior level? It's going to be his first game at McVeigh. Is it you go into the game any differently with a new coach at the Giants?
Nah, not at all. We're preparing for GWS at their best, and their best is real good. So, yeah, we prepare like every other week. We'll sit down on Thursday and have a look at them, and yeah, go over and try and get the 4 points.
Does Simo talk to you much, Cal? Does he say, do you get much from the senior coach, or you sort of, it's not quite that sort of thing yet?
No, Simo's been real big for my development. Yeah, he's got a good connection with across the whole list. Yeah, I think that's a big focus of his, is building his connection across the list, and yeah, he looks out for me and all the other boys.
So in terms of being a development coach, you think he's got the goods, eh? He's good with the young blokes and can bring them through, because that's what's going to happen the next couple of years.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we've got a good group of young fellas coming through. Obviously, I mentioned Westy before, and Brady Hoff's had a few games, and Bailey and Harry Edwards is a good bunch of young boys coming through, and yeah. So
you can see light at the end of the tunnel already, or you're sort of thinking, wow, this could be a couple of years?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, injuries suck, but it brings opportunity for younger players, and yeah, there's a few players stepping up, as we saw on the weekend.
Struggled to kick a score on the weekend as a side. You're missing a few, like Willie's obviously not playing, Liam's been rubbed out, JK's going to miss another week. How hard is it going to be to try and find those goals without those big names there?
Yeah, we looked at the game last week, and we thought our second and third quarter was strong. Obviously scoring needs to improve, but we thought our contest work and our method around the ball was much bigger than it has been lately. So yeah, if we keep focusing on that, I think our scoring is going to come. Just
you mentioned Simo, what's been his feedback to you, as far as he talks a lot about small wins at the moment?
Yeah.
For you, what does he sort of deem a small win in your improvement?
Simo just wants to keep seeing me building each game, just keep developing. He hands over my ruck work to Emu and blokes like Nick, but he just says keep building and working on my craft. And
thinking about the middle there, is it TK who's sort of demanding the ball? Is that him? Is he your main target? Is he the guy who...
I think Shuey's back this week, so Shuey might be demanding a bit more, but yeah, blokes like Tim Kelly, Jack Redden, there's a few senior blokes in there that are, really knowledgeable.
The club's spoken over the last few days about identity, trying to find your identity. Is that with the group you have at the moment, or is that moving forward through the transition phase?
Oh, I'm not sure, but at the moment we're just trying to focus on our contest, getting our contest right, and then playing from that. And this week we'll try and get our contest right and get the 4 points.
You're looking forward to the bye so you can go surfing and be a big surfer, aren't you?
I'm just loving playing footy at the moment.
Didn't you go surfing with Mick Fanning at one stage?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go surfing with Mick Fanning on the Gold Coast. It's pretty unreal.
Got a wetsuit.
Yeah, got a free wetsuit out of it.
Just on JK again, he spoke on radio this morning. He's obviously right at the back end of his career. He's doing a fair bit to get up for every week, draining his knee and kind of doing everything he can. How big as a hole does he leave? And I mean, what's it like seeing a guy at the back end of his career just working so hard to try and get out there with you guys every week?
Yeah, JK's a pro. He's been around, I think, 17 seasons. He knows what he needs to get his body right each week, and he does everything he can to get it right. It's unfortunate to not see him get up last week, and obviously you can't replace a player like JK. But as I said before, it does bring opportunity for younger fellas. We saw Hugh Dixon come in late and play a good role.
Back on what you just said previously, you're pretty confident Luke Shuey will be back this week?
Yeah, if he gets through training this week, I'm pretty sure all signs are clear that he's probably coming back this week.
And how important is he to that midfield as well, tapping down to not just TK, Shuey as well?
Oh, he's a captain of the footy club, and he brings everything we want a captain to bring. So yeah, he's a massive player to come in.
Have you got any update on Luke Foley, how he's doing?
Yeah, Foles was in this morning. Obviously, it was a big knock to his head, but yeah, he's in well spirited. I think the 12-day concussion rules him out, but yeah, he's up and about and he's all well.